Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not in my dorm room. Um, I actually finished up college for the year, and I've been home for about 5 days now, something like that. So I went out to the backyard because I tried shooting this earlier, and for some reason there was something in the room I can't figure out what it was. It's giving really bad feedback, and the video audio was really screwed up. So took it outside where I figured there shouldn't be anything electronic. It's just a lot of birds and horses for the most part. See the out there. They got some new ones, so that's kind of cool. They only had two last summer, but they've got five now, and some look pretty young in comparison to the other horses. Anyways, I mean, none of them are really that. Anyways, so yeah, I've just been hanging out here. I need to get a haircut severely, but there's something that I that I wanted to make a video about that came up at the end of the year. Um, our school focuses really, really heavily on Meisner training. And one of the things that my Meisner teacher kept saying was that actors need to be an open vessel. Um, I mean, I know you've probably heard this. If you're an actor, you've probably heard this before. It's not like I'm sharing some new exciting revelation. I'm sure you've heard this before. But even though she's saying that since the beginning of the year, I don't think I actually understood it until near the end of the year. Because I mean, it's one thing to know something, you know. Um, it's another thing entirely to actually understand it. It's like in here, and I did not understand it. uh, we got our final scenes a couple weeks back, obviously before school ended, and the final scenes, once again, obviously, are the final scenes that we perform. We perform these for the three people who are in charge of the school, basically, and that helps determine whether or not we get to come back next year. That and money, which might do me in. Um, the scene that I got was from Rabbit Hole, which you might know the movie, you might know the play. It was a play first, like everything, except for Shrek, stuff like that. But yeah, it's this really, really well written play by David Lindsay Abaire about basically how a family copes with the death of a child. And the scene that I got, I played the kid that ran over the 4-year-old son, and the scene takes place 10 years after it actually happens. Not 10 years, 10 months after it happens. Sorry, 10 months after he hits the kid, he comes and apologizes to the mother, and obviously she's overcome. She's dealing with all this emotion and everything. And since we first got the scene, my partner had a really strong emotional connection to it. She doesn't have a kid or anything. It's not that, but she understood the scene. I mean, I knew the scene. I could comprehend what it was about, but I didn't actually. It was like she was acting with a brick wall, basically. She was there. She actually had to work on pulling it back and, making it work theatrically because nobody's interested in seeing somebody just get up there and cry a lot. It gets boring, uncomfortable, it gets old. I've seen scenes where they spend like over half the time with just their hands in their face. First off, you don't cry like that. That's upstaging yourself. Second off, you want to see characters go through a journey. You don't want to just see them crying the whole time. I mean, there are probably roles that call for that. So actually, you know what? Ignore me. I'm not a director or a teacher or anything worth listening to. Oh God, split my lip. By the way, that's not a ring or anything. I was not there. It was like I wasn't even there. Um, I had no emotional connection to it. I was trying to. I was. It's not. It's not like I didn't care. It's not like I wasn't trying to do the scene or something. But I had this idea of what it should go like, and I was trying to push it, and I was trying to. I didn't know that I was trying. I didn't know that I was pushing for emotion. You're not supposed to push for emotion because that's not true. Um, it's not like I knew I was pushing, otherwise I wouldn't have been doing it. My lip bleeding? Blah. I didn't know I was pushing, obviously, but I was. I'm a control freak. I tend to do that a lot. It's a bad thing. It's probably my worst trait as an actor. Which is what I've been working on all year. So they've been saying that I've been doing better, so that's good. I need to go further still, but obviously that's why I have another year. That's why I have my entire life to train. Anyways, at some point I stopped trying to have control and I just said, you know what? I'm forget it. I'm just going to just do the scene and do it for me and forget about how it looks to the audience and forget about all this other stuff for just once and just see what happens. And suddenly I was there. I I was breaking down and trying not to cry just out of nowhere when it was at a good place in the scene. It's just when I stopped trying, that's when it worked. And what I realized is any good playwright knows what they want to happen, and they've written it in there. And the playwright will do the work for you. It's not your job to create the story, basically. That's what I realized. I was trying to figure out, well, clearly he would be upset here, and he would get better here, and he would all these things. The playwright knows what he wants to happen, especially a playwright like David Lindsay Abaire, and they will take care of you. They will do the work. Like, it honestly felt like I wasn't working as hard as I usually had to, because I wasn't trying to control everything, because I was just, you need to live out the scene in the given circumstances, And I realized that being an open vessel means that you're not pushing, you're not forcing anything, you're just allowing what the playwright wants to happen to just come through you. They'll do most of the work. You just have to surrender yourself completely, which is hard, I mean, it's basically saying do less work, but that's hard, to just open yourself up, and it's hard to be hurt, But I think that's what makes an actor really good, is when they allow things to just happen, because it's not in our nature, we hide things. So that's basically the realization I came to. I wanted to have a conversation, I guess, with someone about this. If you have any opinions or anything, leave a comment. I'll correspond. I check my comments. I'm not just going to leave this and not respond or anything. I'm just curious to see what everybody thinks. So, yeah. Thanks for sitting through this. I know you're probably just staring at my lip, but I'll get that fixed somehow and cut my hair. I want to be beautiful. Right, okay. Bye, guys. Say goodbye to the horses. God knows when you'll see them again.